July 7th in history. Do you know what happened on July 7th? No. 1928. Well, I do. And I'll tell you right after this. The greatest thing since sliced bread. That's right. On July 7th, 1928, the Chillicothe Baking Company in Missouri sold the very first Priestley's loaf of bread, and thus an iconic phrase is born. Invented by Otto Frederick Rohwedder, the bread slicer was a revolutionary contraption that sliced bread to a uniform thickness as it moved through an opening at the top of the machine. If you would like this turned into a short video script or timeline graphic, subscribe to my historical newsletter. Before this, a housewife would have to cut the bread by hand, but now, thanks to Mr. Rohwedder, the first customer could purchase a loaf of bread already sliced for their convenience. By the early 1930s, most major bakeries across the nation were slicing their bread, and by 1934, the practice became a national standard. And if you're wondering, the original bread slicer is now in the Springfield Museum of American History. But that's not all that happened on July. How about July 7th, 1930? On this day, construction began on one of the greatest engineering feats in U.S. history, Hoover Dam. The move officially entered the United States into the space race with the Soviet Union. In 1957, the Soviets had shocked the U.S. by launching the first artificial satellite into orbit, Sputnik 1. And then 1 year later, they followed up with Sputnik 2, which carried the first living creature into orbit, a dog named Laika. Now the U.S. needed to catch up and fast, so Congress passed the National Aeronautics and Space Act, which created NASA and set about the task of coordinating the nation's efforts in space exploration and aeronautics. The agency would go on to achieve some of the greatest triumphs in American history, including landing astronauts on the moon for the first time in 1969. The massive structure would be built on the Colorado River between Nevada and Arizona and would help control flooding, provide irrigation water for the arid lands, and generate much-needed hydroelectric power. It would also create thousands of jobs during the Great Depression, helping to pull workers out of poverty and put money back in their pockets. Originally called Boulder Dam, the project was renamed in 1931 to honor President Herbert Hoover. Construction lasted for 6 years, and the dam was finally completed in 1936. And finally, we have July 7th, 1958. On this day, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed legislation establishing the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA. So there you have it. 3 amazing moments in American history that all occurred on July